of a crypto wallet. I mean, conceptually, theoretically, or technologically, what does it really mean? So I hope right now on my screen, you are able to see something which has this box of private, public, address, and WIF. Can you just ping me if you guys can see this? Can someone just say yes, no? Awesome. So now what we've got to understand is crypto is very different from any other asset that you may have dealt with, so to say. So when it is gold, you get something physical. When it's real estate, there is something physical. But when it comes to crypto, you don't really get anything physical. What you really get is some entry in some technology platform or database somewhere. Now, just like in a bank account, you have an account number and then you have a way of accessing that account. So let's say it's an online banking account that you have. How do you access it? You enter a username, password, and OTP, and then you are able to log in and make transactions. Similarly, in the crypto world, what you should logically always get is something which looks like this. So there is going to be an address. Now an address is available. The whole world can see your address. There's nothing they can do with it. An address is like a bank account number. It's not confidential. But if there is some balance of assets showing in your address, how do you move that? And that is where this private key comes into the picture. So all clear so far? Any questions? Vikram says to enlarge. Let me just do that. I hope it's clearer now. Okay. So now when we use a crypto exchange, a centralized exchange, the exchange which does your KYC, you do not get access to your own private key. That is why you may have heard a lot of people say, not your keys, not your coins. Because when you use a centralized exchange, the actual crypto is held by the exchange for you on your behalf in their addresses, which they control with their private key. So tomorrow, if something goes wrong, let's say there's a major hack, or the exchange goes bust, or the founders run away, you would lose your entire crypto, which is why a lot of people always say, use your own addresses, which is a non-custodial address or a non-custodial wallet. Custodial wallet means somebody else has custody. Non-custodial means you have it. So it could look as simple as what you're seeing on your screen. This is called a paper wallet. So there are many different places we could go and we just click a button and it generates the wallet for us. We can take a printout of this, or we can actually note this down on a piece of paper and lock it up somewhere physically. And whenever you need to move your cryptos out, you are going to need this private key to move it out. If someone gets hold of your private key, they can take over your entire crypto and transfer it to another address which they have. Another very important thing for you to remember is the same address is not going to work across all platforms. So what you see right now here is a Bitcoin address. But if I compare it to, let's say, a Litecoin address, that's going to be very different, right? The numbers may look okay, they're more or less the same length. That doesn't make any difference, but it is going to be completely different. So if you use a Bitcoin address to send ETH, you will lose that entire ETH, right? Someone asked which wallet is the best to use. I'm going to show you that wallet. We're going to go deeper into Metamask. But any questions so far? Is it all clear? So different blockchains have different address algorithms which are there. The addresses may look different, but at the end of the day, it is going to do the same thing. It is going to hold your crypto and allow you to move it around the place. So we are going to use something called Metamask. Now I would want this to be practical. So while I'm showing it to you on the screen, I'd like you guys to do it. So the first thing that I need you to do is whichever browser you're using right now, right? In that browser, just go and search for downloading Metamask, Metamask. And once you're ready to, you've downloaded it and you've just installed it, then we will take it forward. Dave has a question, why not keep it in the exchange like Binance? So like I was explaining, when you keep it on a private exchange or a centralized crypto exchange, if tomorrow there is a hack on the exchange, you lose your crypto. Secondly, if the exchange shuts down or the government asks it to block your address, you can do nothing. So that is the reason we don't recommend keeping your crypto for the long run on an exchange. I mean, just look last year, many exchanges shut down. I think there were 2 from Turkey. Then there was a Canadian exchange where the owner came down to India and for a vacation, and then he passed away. and his wife says that all the private keys were with him. So everybody who had put their crypto on that exchange lost 100% of their crypto. So that's the reason we use decentralized exchanges and wallets. What is the probability of wallets getting hacked? That's a good question, Vikram. So even what you're seeing right now, what we're going to do, MetaMask kind of thing, you could end up getting exploited. If someone sends you a fake email, makes you click on some link and enter your key phrase, which I'm going to show you what it looks like, they could end up stealing your crypto. So it's not 100% sure, but at least here the risk is now completely yours. You need to be secure. You're not dependent upon a third party. Vikram says at least sex would have insurance. Maybe we get something back. No, it doesn't happen. So if you look at all the exchanges that have gotten bust, no, there is no insurance. There is nothing you get back, right? P2P and yeah, Sanjeev will come to all that. So first, let's just move ahead with this. Let me share my full screen with you guys. Okay. So now I've opened up, and on your screen you should just see this MetaMask. Welcome to MetaMask is what you guys should be able to see. Let me know if all of you can see that. Nope, it's showing the previous thing. Okay, give me a second. Now can you guys see it? You should be able to see something called welcome to MetaMask. Awesome. So now what I've done is I'm using there are multiple browsers you can use. So I'm right now using something called the Brave browser, which is something I strongly recommend for crypto usage. That's considered one of the best. And there I've simply gone and downloaded the MetaMask extension and installed it. And now we are going to all configure it, right? So now when we say welcome to MetaMask, connecting you to Ethereum and the decentralized web, we just say get started. Now, there are two things that we could do here. If we already have in the past set up a wallet on MetaMask and we simply want to recover that wallet here, then we would go with the first one. That I already have a secret recovery phrase and I'm going to use that to recover my original wallet and run it here. But for today's example, we'll presume that this is the first time we're setting it up. So we will go with this option, that we will create a new wallet and a new secret recovery phrase. Now let's say create a wallet. Okay. So now here it gives you a bunch of options that MetaMask would like to gather usage data to better understand how you use the extension. You can say I agree or no thanks. Either ways, it doesn't make any difference. I hope all of you are able to follow me till now. Okay. So the first thing we need to do is now we need to create a password. What you must remember is this is not your recovery key. This is a password to access your MetaMask on a particular browser. So it has to be minimum of 8 characters. If you are following along with me, just enter anything. Because it's a demo, I've kept a very simple password. We click on the I agree and we say create. Let's give it some time. Okay. So now what it does is it says that before you have started, they want you to watch a particular small video to learn about the secret recovery phrase. Now we don't really need to watch that video for it. We can always just give me a second. But it's interesting. I mean, if you want to, you can always watch it later. Give me a second.
Metamask is a new way to connect to sites and applications.
Okay, that seems to be it's a little slow today. So far, I hope all of you are able to follow with what's going on. Okay, it's really slow today. I don't know what's wrong. Let me just refresh. Okay, so we can just simply click on next here. Okay, So now once we've come here, it says that your secret recovery phrase makes it easy to back up and restore your account. And never disclose your secret key phrase, because if anybody gets this, they can recreate your wallet and all your tokens can be transferred out. So now let's see what it looks like. So here, if we click here, it shows us our secret recovery phrase. Now, right now, this is a new wallet and it's only for demo. So you are able to see my key phrase, but in reality, I would never show this to anyone. And these are the words that we need to actually copy and keep with us. So let me just quickly put them here. Now, the order of the words is critical. So even if you've saved the words, but they're not saved in the correct order, you're not going to be able to use your wallet. So these are the words which help the MetaMask software recreate your wallet whenever required. So suppose you lose access to this particular browser or laptop, and now you go to a new device, set it up again, you can recover your original wallet with these key phrase words. Is that clear? Any questions so far? So what is the login ID? Is it linked? Yeah, so that's the beauty of it. You don't need to link it to anything. It's a decentralized wallet. It doesn't ask you for anything. It doesn't ask you for your phone number, email address, nothing. It is just going to depend upon the login ID or the password we just set up and these key phrase. There's nothing else that we need. So we just go to next. Now here, if we want, we can confirm our address to make sure that we have copied it correctly. So bear with me, I'm going to do it. It's going to seem a little boring, but it's important for us to do that. So what we are going to do is these words, we need to now click in the correct order. So document inside road barely. So let's look for it here. Document inside road barely. We go ahead. Journey answer unfair dragon. So journey answer unfair dragon. And then we have circle boil reward aspect. Circle boil reward aspect. So as you see, it has put those 12 words in the same order, and now we say confirm. So now it says, okay, you have securely noted down your recovery phrase, but obviously keeping it secure is your responsibility. So they say save a backup in multiple places. So whatever these words are, we can write them down on a piece of paper, and then we can make photocopies if we want and keep it in different locations. You can take screenshots, whatever. But remember, if somebody gets hold of this, your crypto is gone. They also make it very clear that if someone sends you an email asking you for the recovery phrase, it's a fake email. It's a phishing email, and don't ever give this recovery phrase to anybody else. Any questions? All clear? Could you just quickly say yes, no, so I know everyone's understood? Do you suggest having multiple MetaMasks? Well, that's a good question, Dave. I use it on multiple browsers for different use cases. So it depends on, like, let's say, for example, one wallet or one browser I keep only for the client related stuff that I have. So if clients want me to set up tokens for them, I need to buy certain crypto to set those tokens. Then I create the tokens. For that, I use a distinct browser. For my personal crypto, I would use another one. And for teaching, I would use a third one. So yeah, that's how it usually goes. Dave says about splitting the investment. So actually, you don't need multiple wallets for that. In the same wallet, we can create multiple addresses, which I'm going to show you. So that usually just is enough. So now we say all done. Now we've just come in here for the first time. So obviously it is showing us our balance is 0 ETH. Now, in case you're wondering why is it showing ETH and nothing else, because if you see on top here, MetaMask can support multiple networks. By default, the Ethereum mainnet is the one that is selected here. But we can add other networks also, and that is the first thing that we're going to do. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to add the Binance network here. So how do I get to know how to do that? So I click on add network. Now it shows me a bunch of options here. I need to enter a network name, an RPC, a remote procedure call URL, a chain ID, currency symbol, and block explorer URL. That's an optional one. Now, where do I get this information from? Meanwhile, if there are questions. Yeah, Anand, I'm going to be coming to this in detail. What does it mean to support multiple? Yeah. So a network is a blockchain. So MetaMask can connect to multiple blockchains, not just one. So it connects to the main Ethereum. It can connect to all the Ethereum test networks. It can connect to Matic, to Binance Smart Chain. Lots and lots of different ones are supported. So how do we find out how to connect? So for this, you have to Google and reach the site of the blockchain where they will tell you how to add this. So when I Googled how to add Binance Smart Chain to MetaMask, then a URL of Binance.com opens. I can verify that this is the correct URL by looking here. It's Binance.com. It tells me that if I want to add the mainnet, then this is the information I need. If I want to add the testnet, this is the information I need. So now let's actually do this. So first step, I would copy the RPC URL. Let me go back here and edit here in the RPC URL. Let's see what other information we need. Give me a second. So the chain ID is 56, symbol is BNB, and the name is Smart Chain. So I put the name here, 56, and the currency symbol is BNB. So I hope all of you are able to see this information which we have entered here. Any questions on this? Okay. Now we do save. So now as we can see, it's connected us to some other account and it says 0 BNB. Now when I look here in the drop down, I can see that we have connected, Ethereum mainnet and the Binance Smart Chain. Both of them are available. When I click on the Ethereum mainnet, it will show me 0 ETH because ETH is the native token of Ethereum. And when I change and go to Binance Smart Chain, it shows me BNB balance. And now here, step by step, we can do a lot of things, which we are going to see now. Any questions so far? As a beginner, we should connect to multiple networks. So it depends on which network you're holding your assets. So if you're holding a Binance token, then you have to connect the Binance chain here. Otherwise, you won't be able to see or interact with those tokens. So it depends upon you. If you're using it for Matic, you're using it for Ethereum, whichever blockchain you're using it for, which is supported by MetaMask, you have to add that network. I hope that's clear. Any other questions? Okay. Let me just see now what we're going to do next. So what we've done so far is we've understood a paper wallet, how we do that. Now we have set up MetaMask in the Brave browser. We have added the Binance Mainnet, and now let me add the Binance test network also. So here again, when we go to the Binance site, it says that now for the testnet, what all information you need to enter. So it's the similar way in which we are going to set this up. We're going to again go here and say add network. Now we enter the RPC URL, which is obviously going to be a little different for the testnet. The chain ID is 97. We go back here. The chain ID is 97. This is the network name, and the currency again is BNB. Again, I do that and I say save. Now you can see that I've got 3 networks running here: the Ethereum mainnet, the Smart Chain testnet of Binance, and the Smart Chain mainnet. Now it is very important for you to never get confused. Whenever you're making transactions, please double check which network you are using, because while doing a demo transaction, you may end up sending real crypto if you were running it on the mainnet. Any questions so far? I hope it's all easy. Someone's asked, so if you buy 10 cryptos on Binance and want to transfer here, you need to connect 10 networks? No. So what happens is, depends on which the cryptos are. If the token is running on the Binance Smart Chain, then you need to add Binance once and that's it. All the Binance tokens will run on the same place. But if you're using 10 different blockchains, yes, one by one you will have to add them. But once you do the adding, you will never have to bother about that again. Hope that answers your question, Dave. Vikram says, what is the difference between mainnet and testnet? Sure. So mainnet is where the real tokens are, and testnet is just for trial purposes. So when you buy Ethereum from the, say, an exchange or anywhere, it's the real Ethereum, you pay real money. But you can get free tokens for the test network. There are various faucets. You can just Google and you can get free tokens, but they will not run on the main network. They will run only on the test network. So it's like for demos only. Vikram says, if we receive BNB, then do we have to select Binance network and then send the address? Well, interestingly, the address is the same. So it doesn't make a difference. Yeah, because these are all EVM compatible. So the same address would move across. This address wouldn't work for, say, a Bitcoin, but it would work on these chains. Hope that answered your question. Now, next step, we've set up the testnet. Now what we are going to do is we are going to transfer this token called Sanya. So I'm going to now go to my Chrome browser. Give me a second. Okay. So in Chrome, you'll be able to see I have another MetaMask which is running. Now, I hope the Chrome one is visible to all of you. To make it simple to understand, I've kept the name of the account here, Chrome account 1. So I don't get confused. Are you guys able to see the Chrome account 1? Jatin says no. Okay, give me a second. Let me stop the sharing. And let me start sharing again. Okay, 1 second. Can you guys see it now? Awesome. Anand has a question. This means that all the networks we can add on have to be EVM compatible and only such networks can be. Okay, so yeah, that you're right on that. So MetaMask supports certain kinds of things. It doesn't really support every single blockchain in the world. So depending upon which blockchain you are actually using. So if it's Bitcoin, we would use a completely different wallet for that. So now when I go into this other account of mine, I can see here that I am on the BSC testnet. When I click on this logo next to it, it shows me that on this particular wallet, I have Chrome account 1, 2, 3. I have 3 accounts set up. I can just go to the second one. There again, I have 0 balance. I can go to the third one. So these are different accounts, and you can see here is the account number. And you can just click on it and it will save it to the clipboard, and then you can click and send it to anybody that you want. So that is the difference. So it's very important for us to understand the difference between these accounts that we have and the networks which are there. Networks are different blockchains. Accounts are your personal accounts, and you can keep names on them. You can change the name to whatever you want. So if you look here we can change the name. If you don't like Chrome account 1, you can write whatever else you want, which will help you to identify which particular address or wallet are you actually using. So right now, if I go to my Chrome account 1 and on the BSC testnet, I have 1.2 ETH. But if I go to the Ethereum mainnet, it shows that I have 0.269 ETH. Now, very important to remember, when I'm on the mainnet, this is actual money. This is worth $32 as of right now. So if I make any transaction here, it's real money which is going. But if I change and I go to a testnet and then I do transactions, it is not real money. It is just for testing and learning purposes. Any questions? If you get confused, don't worry, just ask me, because I know it can be a little confusing for someone who's new to this. All clear? A quick yes would help me. I'm not clear on the multiple networks. Okay, so network is simply blockchain. Okay, ignore the word network, remember blockchain. Ethereum runs Ethereum tokens. Binance Smart Chain runs Binance tokens, what we call BEP20. So depending upon which blockchain your token is on, you have to add that blockchain as a network to your wallet. Vikram says, while setting up the recovery phrase and also the address, where is private key? Yeah, sure, I'll show you the private key. So if we look here and we go to account details, it shows us here that we can export our private key. So the key phrase is what enables MetaMask to recreate your wallet and generate all your accounts, and each account internally has an address and a private key. So here we can see this is the address, and if I click here, my private key will open up, which obviously I cannot show you here because this is a commercial account that I'm using. On Brave, I can go and show it to you. So let me show you the Brave. Give me a second. I will shift the browser. 1 sec. So let me just share my entire screen. Okay. Now I hope you're able to see Binance, the Brave one here, which says 0 BNB. Is it visible to all of you? Awesome. So when we go here, now this is a new account we've just set up. So I don't mind showing you the private key. This is what it. So it asked me to enter my password which we had just set up when we created this new wallet. And here it shows me my private key. So again, small revision. When we create a new wallet, you remember that I showed you that a new wallet would comprise multiple things. This is the wallet that I had shown you initially. So this was a Bitcoin wallet. It had a private key, it had an address, and these are the two most important things that we needed. Now, similarly, here also, it is having the address which you can see here, and this is the private key which is used to actually sign transactions. So each account that I create will have its own address and its own private key. And multiple such accounts are stored inside one MetaMask wallet that I have set up on my browser. I hope the distinction is clear. Don't worry, even if you find some of this confusing, once you start to actually use it, it'll become much simpler for you to understand. If someone gets hold of private key, then they can access, yes, they can. So, no, like I said, you would have multiple accounts here. So each of those accounts is going to have a separate one. So here we can see account one right now. I can click and create a new account and I can give it any name here. So let's call it a learning account. And I say create. Let's just give it a few seconds. Okay. So here we can see now there are two accounts, account one and something called learning account. So I can create as many accounts as I want by simply saying create account. And each of these will have its own address, its own private key. And all of them together are in my MetaMask, which is controlled by the secret phrase. This particular secret phrase that we had got from them. These 12 words. So they become my most important asset. If somebody gets hold of these, then they can totally take all our tokens away. All clear? Okay, so Gautam has asked what is the private key and the seed phrase. So like I said, in the world of cryptography, every time a new user comes in or wants to use it, we create a public private key pair. A smaller version of the public key is what is called your address. So from the crypto point of view, you just need to remember two things. Address is what I can give to the world. Private key is what I keep with myself. Because I can have multiple addresses, each of them with their own private key, to make it easy for me to control all of them, I use something like MetaMask, which using a particular key phrase can recreate all my username password combinations or public key address combinations in one click. So MetaMask is like an aggregator of multiple accounts on multiple blockchains. All clear? What is the function of the private key? The private key is what you use to sign and send your tokens away. So we can share only our address and people can send us tokens to that address. But when we want to send it out, we need the private key to sign a transaction and send it out. For one seed phrase, can we create multiple accounts? Yes. So for this MetaMask that I've set up on Brave, I'm having only one key phrase, those 12 words, but it controls unlimited accounts. So I can just keep clicking on create and keep creating as many as we want. All clear? Awesome. Let me just see what we should do next. So now that we've done all this, we are going to transfer a token called Sanya, which is running on the BSC testnet to this new account of ours. So first step, what we are going to do is it's going to happen on the testnet. Now I need to give that person, somebody wants to send me a token called Sanya. Now that person says, what is your BEP20 address? So what I could do is, wherever I want to do this, I could do it on the learning account. So I click here and it's copied it to the clipboard. And now I'm going to go to this other wallet of mine in Chrome. And here that person has Sanya tokens. So I can click on send Sanya. Now when I do that, it asks me, where do you want to send it? Right. So I can say this is I've just pasted the address here. So I'm saying that I want to send it to this address. So what it's telling me is new address detected. Click here to add it to your address book. So I can click it here. And if I want, I can add a nickname. So I can say that this runs on the Brave browser. It is for testing only, or let's say only for teaching. Okay. And I can say save. now it is going to send this crypto to this Brave teaching only account. Now, how much do we want to send? So we can say, okay, let's send 200 Sanya tokens. And here it shows me the gas price that I am currently ready to pay for it. So as you know, all transactions are going to cost some gas fee. So I need to say, okay, you know what, I'm ready to pay more or less. And then depending on that, the transaction could either happen fast or not at all happen. So that, but by default, for now, let's not change the gas token. So can we say that if someone gets hold of our seed phrase, that they are going to be able to get my complete MetaMask and someone gets my private key, then it is only that. You are absolutely right, Jatin. You have understood spot on. If someone gets your seed phrase, all your wallets or all your accounts are in their control. If someone gets only one private key, then only that one account is under their control. Now, any questions on this? So SANYA is a regular BEP20 token running on the Binance test chain. And I'm going to now transfer 200 of these to another address. Any questions on this? Is this screen totally clear to all of you? Can you give me a quick yes or no? Are you okay? Awesome. So now what I do is I say next. Okay. Now it is telling me that 200 Sanya are going to be now transferred from Chrome account 1 to Brave teaching account. This is the estimated gas fee in terms of ETH, every transaction cost. And this is going to be the total amount that I'm going to send, 200 Sanya, and I'm going to send this in ETH. So what we've got to understand and remember here is that one is the token that we are going to send, and the second is the gas fee or the transaction fee that we are going to pay. So always keep that in mind. There are two kinds of things or two assets which are being used up here. The token we want to send and the gas fee. Then I simply need to say confirm. Right? So here it says pending. So the transaction now we are hoping would go through fast. Sanya token is on ETH testnet? No, it's on the Binance testnet. So here it has sent it. Can you see earlier it was showing pending here and now it says okay, minus 200 Sanya have gone. Now if we go to our new browser, which is here, it should come. But can you see that it is not visible at all? Why do you think we are not able to see the Sanya token here? Anyone has any clue? Can you just